What is up, gamers? It's your Average Joe with Average Joe Raids. Today, we are going to take a look at the top 5 features that I think need to come to Raid Shadow Legends, and we are looking at this from a context of Dislight, a new gacha type of game that came out on mobile not that long ago. I got into it pretty far when it first came out. And I've recently gotten back into it because of the friend that I got into Raid has been playing Dislight pretty faithfully since it came out, and so I'm getting back into it. And when you get back into it, if you've ever played Dislight before, there's just a lot of quality of life things that are not in Raid Shadow Legends. And even though I like Raid more as a game, these quality of life features really feel like a big deal. And there's little things that really could go a long way. So we're going to look at the top 5 things that I think Plarium needs to put into the game for quality of life changes that are going to make new game players, early game, mid game, and late game, all the players are going to be happy about these. So number 1, we're going to shift over to Dislight, and I'm going to show you this. We're going to start with number 5. We'll go up to number 1. If you're new here, if you've been here before, hit the subscribe button. You can always change your mind later. Let's get into it. So we're going to switch over to Dislight here. I'm running it in BlueStacks. It does not have a PC client at the moment. So number 5 on the list is, for wishing in Dislight, there is a pity counter. And you can see it right above the spin 1 or spin 10. So Dislight pulls are basically records instead of shards, and it does tell you your pity. Right now I am 16 pulls away from a legendary Esper, and that's a champion. So, knowing this, so Dislight has banners. Right now the banner is for this girl, Amunet Zora, and so you have a 10%, it's like a times 10 event for this Zora legendary. I'm waiting until the next one comes around so that I hit my pity on the next banner. And so that's not necessarily like I'm not spending my pulls, but I'm just saving them and using them at a different time. So, I think for some people this is going to make you spend more, for some people it'll make you spend less, but for all of us, we are definitely going to be happy to be able to see that pity. And Dislight pity is only like 130 and not 200 before it goes up. It's a hard pity at 130. Raid Shadow Legends on an Ancient Shard, you got a pity of 200, and then the chance increases by like 5% per shard after that. So a pity counter would be super, super nice. I've seen a lot of people asking about this on the Reddit before, and it needs to be added to the game. I think it should be. People keep track of their pity outside of the app anyways. So number 4, we're going to back out here. The shops in Dislight. Now there's a lot of different shops for a lot of different things here. But the main point being, every reward is unlocked in the shop to everyone. So this gold shop, you've got this friendship shop. Tournament shop is like for PvP. Cube shop is kind of like a Doom Tower, but more of a roguelike. And then club shop is like the guild shop, the clan shop. So in each of these, you can see there's, in the clan shop, there is like, you need a club level 5 to be able to unlock this. But for the PvP shop here, the tournament shop, there's no PvP ranking that you have to hit like the tag team arena shop. It's just that the nicer rewards, like this would be like a legendary book up in the top right. It's more expensive, and I'm saving up for it right now. And so you look at the tag team arena shop here, and you can see, I'm only in silver, so I can get the silver stuff. If I wanted to save 30,000 gold bars for a sacred shard, why don't you let me? Like, I'm in silver, so I don't get as many gold bars as somebody in gold. So it's just going to take longer for me to farm to get to 30,000. So from Plarium's perspective, I'm playing the game more to get a reward that people in gold have to play the game less for. So why would you not open this up to everyone so that, if you wanted to buy a sacred shard, you could just save up for it in here? I don't know. It's something that I'm not a huge fan of. If you want to keep the clan shop gated off a little bit, But this tag team arena sucks enough that you don't need to be closing the shop off based on your ranking. That's just stupid in my opinion. So number 3 is when you go to a run, let's say this is going to be like a dungeon basically. When you go to use a run, you see here at the bottom right, it's 9 stamina to be able to do this run. Now, if I fail this run, then I'm going to be returned 8 stamina so that I only lose 1. So you see here, we're going to pause it. We're going to leave in the middle of the battle. And then you can see it says 8 stamina returned. So when you fail a battle, or if you want to end a battle early, you only lose 1 stamina, no matter what. No matter what you're doing in the game, no matter if you fail it, no matter if you quit it, you lose 1 stamina. You get the rest returned back to you. That is insane for trying out new comps, new strategies. If you're trying to mix it up and switch up your gear and try new gear on people, it just is very forgiving for trying out new things, which honestly makes the game way more fun. And it also gives you more energy so that you're able to do a little bit more things during the day. So in my opinion, that's a huge change. It makes it a lot more fun to mess around with changing things up versus in Raid. I feel like I don't want to try something new unless I know it's going to work. So that is number 3. Number 2 is a little bit similar, but we're going to go back to this formation. So for this run, for this dungeon, we're going to do a multi-battle. You've got these options, which are very similar to the raid options. We're going to enter this multi-battle. Now, this is, gameplay-wise, this is the biggest thing in the entire game that I miss when I go back to raid, is this button right here with the arrow pointing down to the corner minimizes your multi-battle. So now it's at the bottom left corner. You can see the 1 out of 10. You click on that 1 out of 10, it brings you back into the multi-battle that's running. Right now we're on wave 2 of 3. You click that arrow back down again, it minimizes your multi-battle. Now you're doing a multi-battle in the trials section. You can go into story, and while you're in story, you could run a level in story like this. And so you can run this at the exact same time as your multi-battles are going on. So you can't do 2 sets of multi-battles at the same time, but you can be doing a multi-battle on one thing and a manual battle, or you could still hit auto while I was in the story mode on something else. You get done, you come back down to your multi-battle, and you can see now we're on the boss stage. And so this boss is doing some big damage there. We're going to get him down. This is the highest level of Kronos, the boss that drops attack and speed sets, basically. So being able to minimize that and do different things in the game, look at your espers while your battles are going on, it's huge quality of life. And another thing about the multi-battles that I'm lumping in with number 2 is the ability to say the stop button, stop multi-battle after the current one. Why has Plarium not put this in the game? This is insane. I shouldn't have to sit at my phone and wait for the 3 seconds that happens between a run to frantically hit stop so that the multi-battles stop. I should be able to hit stop during a battle, and it should be the last one. I think we messed up with some gear here. We're not going to beat this Kronos run, which is unfortunate. But we're going to stop after this run, and then we're going to get the stamina, because we're going to lose this run. We're going to get the stamina returned to us. So, I mean, if you know you're losing, you hit stop after this run. You're done. You get the stamina returned, and there you go. You don't have to worry about trying to get the 3-second window to hit stop. So, multi-battles in Dislight versus multi-battles at Raid. Raid has a lot to learn from a new game being Dislight. But, okay, so that is the number 1 gameplay option. But this is the number 1, hands down, no questions asked, feature that needs to come to Raid Shadow Legends, and it is no silver cost for gear swapping. So I take this Li-Ling piece, I go over to this different set, I want to switch this out for something else, I hit replace, bam, no gold cost. It doesn't cost anything to switch my gear around, which means I can be testing out different builds. This goes back to being able to try new things, testing out different builds, testing out different sets on different people, swapping gears around between your DPS. You're able to do it all without blowing all your silver. And it's not like I'm sitting on a ton of gold. I have 480,000 gold, which just like 480,000 silver in raid isn't a lot. 480,000 gold in Dislight is also not very much. I could level up one piece from like 9 to maybe even 12 to 16 or 12 to 15. I wouldn't even have enough. So it's not a lot of gold that I'm sitting on. It's not like because of the elimination of this feature, I'm like just drowning in gold. I'm still pretty gold tight because you're constantly leveling up pieces and trying to, especially because you can try new things, you're leveling up much more gear and swapping it out. But the biggest thing that I hate about Raid Shadow Legends is the silver cost to swap your gear between champions or even just off and on of a champion. So that is the top thing that I think needs to come to Raid Shadow Legends. They should just completely eliminate the silver cost. I know why they don't, because people buy the silver packs. You don't have to tell me that. But I think that it's a huge quality of life thing. It would go a long way with their players. And that rounds out the top 5 features that I think Raid Shadow Legends could bring over from a new game, Dislight. And it could just be really good for all players in the game. So thank you guys for watching till the end. Stay average, friends. I will see you in the next one.